What is going on, everybody? Thank you for stopping through. This is our Monday Motivational Power Talk. So we getting ready to get into it. So let's get it. Well, if it's going to be, it's up to me to fulfill my dreams and possibilities with dedication and motivation to inspire thousands from all nations. When times are tough and breaks you down, just smile with toughness and rebuild from the ground. During tough times, adversity is a lot. Just remember, time flies, but you are the pilot. Good evening, everybody. Let me make some adjustments here on the screen, make sure I'm centered. Hope everybody has been doing great over the weekend. I expect you guys to have a prosperous week this week, as you may have last week. So thank you guys for stopping through. Really appreciate it. Going to have a little conversation with you guys. But before we do, let me just give you guys a little bit of an update on how things are going with me in school. I'm 1 month in now. I started back to school doing cybersecurity last month. As you guys, some of you guys already know, I have like 20 plus years in IT. I have done some cybersecurity in the past with the VA, Veterans Affairs Hospital and everything, but I didn't do this sort of cybersecurity where I'm doing ethical hacking and things like that, which is good. You know, this is recession proof. And as you guys know, during the pandemic, my love for speaking, inspiring people, I think, and doing seminars, conferences, stuff like that, that has been put on a big halt. So as you guys know, while we're going through this pandemic and whatever these politicians do with it, to me, it's still political. And I'm not saying there's no such thing as Corona, so don't take that the wrong way. But I just think it's heavy politics playing parts of this. But while they play around with it, what I'm doing, I went back to school so I can start my cybersecurity firm. And as you guys know, that's a recession-proof business. Every organization that is doing business needs to secure their data, their network. So here I am. Things are going good in schools. 1 month in now, and here we are coming into September. I'm very excited about the opportunity that's put before me, waiting for me when I finish school, all this kind of stuff. I'm talking about mega contracts on the way, folks. I'm excited about it. And the most exciting thing about it is the fact that I will be able to help people, people who are talented in cybersecurity. I'll be able to hire people. I'll be able to hire people to be receptionists, people, presidents, people who can understand programming, people who can be program managers, project managers, all this kind of stuff. I'll be able to get people working, folks. People can be able to make a good income off of the contracts that I'm going to be getting in the cybersecurity field. So that is most exciting, is the fact that I will be able to help people. Folks, if you ever want to feel good about something, do something great for other people. That's the greatest enjoyment that you can ever can feel, the fact that you can do something to help other people. And speaking of that, there was a gentleman on my way home. I saw a gentleman in the big pickup truck. His tire was flat. Not only did the tire was flat, it had ripped off the rim. So he was literally driving his back wheel on the rim, and part of the tire with his torn to shreds was also still left on the rim, and the car was going boom, 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 and I can smell it. Because I said, you know what? I'm going to stay behind you with my hazards on until you get to the next tire place, which is like a block and a half away. Stood behind him, put my flashes on, make sure he was getting to where he got to safely. Folks, it's always about trying to help other people. So we're going to talk a little bit about things like that type of mindset as we go into our topic this evening. And mind you, I'm not going to keep you guys long, because guess what? It is already after 6. It's 19 after 6. You guys know I got class at 7, from 7 to 11, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I wanted to get the opportunity to come and talk to you guys so that we can share a little bit of information. Okay. So, but thank you guys for stopping through. I want to give a quick shout out to those who are watching right now on Twitch. DK320, thank you for stopping through. I see we got Professor Ignore. Thank you, Professor, for stopping through. And the good thing, and I like that this is a professor. I think I like that name. I've always been one who always take heed to listen to a lot of professors. Exactly, especially me being back in school. So, um, um, and yes, Professor Life Story. That's it. Um, and thank you again, DK. Thank you, Professor Igno, for stopping through. I don't know who else is stopping through, but I do see we have some people watching on YouTube right now. Those of you on Facebook, thank you guys for stopping through. But do me a favor, folks. Let's get some likes up. Share the video if you will. Hopefully this video will help you. Hopefully this video will help other people that you know as well. But let's get into what the topic is today, folks. The topic is your income is the outcome of your philosophy. I listened to a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale. You know what he said once? He said, we're all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. We're all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. Folks, a lot of folks don't do well because they don't take 100% responsibility for their life. They want to make other people responsible for it. They want to make the government responsible for it. Countries, neighborhoods are being gentrified all over the country. What makes this in yourself, special because you're talking about it happening to you. It's happening everywhere, folks. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not, making a thing where that's a good thing, but change is going to happen. And we're going to talk about change along the way because we're going to go through this real fast. Okay. So hopefully you guys can watch this video again if you missed something. All right. So let's talk about that. The only thing that stays the same is change. That's it. You don't get in your car. You don't wind up your car in the front to start it anymore. In some cases, you don't even use your key anymore. You just press a button once you get in the car to start your car up. You guys can relate to that, right? So things are changing. Things have evolved, folks. You have to do the same. You have to become 2.0 eventually. You have to upgrade your thinking. If you can't upgrade your thinking, you can't upgrade your bank account. The title of this topic, your income is the outcome of your philosophy. What that means if you don't like what's in your bank account, take responsibility for it. Why? Because you the one put it there. Your boss didn't put it there. Your parents didn't put it there. Your pastor didn't put it there. Your president or your congressman or your senator, none of them put it there. You put it there. You guys understand what I'm saying here. So with that being said, think about something here. Let me drink my cranberry juice. I remember having a conversation with an individual who said, I need a new job. I said, why do you need a new job? Because I'm not making any money. Okay, do what you got to do to make more money. What it is? So why do you feel you're not making enough money? Do you like the job? Oh, I like the job. Okay, so what's wrong with the job? Well, I'm only making this. You're only making what? I'm only making this much. No, they only pay this much. I said, well, if this is what they're only paying, how many people work for this company? Well, they got about 500 people working for this company. So what you're telling me is that all 500 people is making the same amount of money as you're making? No. I said, so what you're telling me is that that's how much they pay you. Well, you got a point. I said, yeah, because think about this, folks. A job probably would never pay you what you're worth or what you feel you're worth. And I've said this over and over and over again. If you ever want to increase your net worth, you have to first increase your self-worth. Most people don't even know their worth. They don't know their worth. What is success predicated upon? It's predicated upon how well you can solve other people's problems. You got to understand something, folks. A job hires you to fix issues. It is there to help. You have to be there to help solve problems. That's any company. I don't care if it's McDonald's. What's the issues McDonald's want to solve? They want to be able to cook good burgers and fries. They want to be able to have a good customer service at the cash register. Okay? So think about that. What problems are you able to solve? It's about how well you can solve problems for other people. A car mechanic, he will increase his net worth because his self-worth increases the better he become good, but the better he gets at fixing cars. To the fact that people start referring other people to this mechanic. I referred a great friend of mine to a mechanic today. I said, take your car to this guy. Went down there, took it. He's looking at her car right now. Take care of people. You give people referrals based off the service that you received. So why can't you just be that individual? Why? See, you got to increase your self-worth. What is your worth? Because if your worth increases, then your net worth increases. That's how that goes. Let me show you why it doesn't work the other way. How many people you know or seen have got a lottery, won a lottery for like $1 million or $5 million? And then within 3 to 5 years, that $5 million is gone. I know a heavyweight champion, a two-time heavyweight champion. I personally know this guy. I won't mention his name because I don't want to seem like I'm throwing somebody under the bus. 2 times heavyweight champion, was worth millions and millions of dollars when he was fighting in the ring. Now he has a net worth of just barely $35,000. Just did a YouTube video asking people to help him because he's about to lose his house. He was worth millions of dollars in sports, but he did not have that mindset of a multimillionaire. You have to become. You have to be before you become. In other words, in order for you to reach a millionaire status, you must already be a millionaire up here. It's called your money blueprint. I'm reading a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by a gentleman by the name of T. Harv Eker. If you get a chance, get that book. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. You have to become one in the mind before you become one in reality. He called it your money blueprint. What does that mean? If your money blueprint is that of a multimillionaire and you lose it all, your money blueprint would tell us that you will eventually get back to that status again. You can be a multi-billionaire and lose it all, but because you have that money blueprint of that of a billionaire, you'll become a billionaire again. Why? Because you already know the route to the top of that mountain, because you've been up that mountain before. But if your money blueprint is that of $40,000 a year and you end up with $200,000, $300,000, $2 million, but your money blueprint is $40,000, and over time you will get right back to your money blueprint, which is that of $40,000. So you might say, well, Jay, how can I get $1 million and how can I do that? But you have to build that money blueprint. And when I say build your money blueprint, I'm not talking about building your cash. It's not what I'm talking about, because your cash will take care of itself once you build your money blueprint here. You have to pick up habits of the multi-millionaire or the rich. Or if you just want to be 100,000-aire, then do that. You can be 100,000-aire. If that's your goal, then develop a money blueprint of that of 100,000-aire. Okay. Want to say hey to Evan Miller. Good to see you, brother Evan. You guys understand what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here and tell you to be rich. If that's a choice, that's an option. If that's what you want to be, then that's what you want to be. If you only want to be a $80,000 a year guy, then guess what? You have to develop the mindset to become that as well. Because if you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, but you want $80,000 a year, then you have to build your money blueprint to that. A gentleman by the name of Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, you know what he said? He said prosperity begins in the mind and ends in the purse. Begins in the mind and ends in the purse. So you have to think of how those people think who making the kind of money that you want to make. And what most people do is they start to don't argue with broke people over philosophies you've learned from rich people. You guys get that? Let me repeat that. Don't go back and forth with broke people with the philosophies you've learned from rich people. That's what most people do. They learn from the rich, but argue about it with poor people. If you want to argue about the philosophy, argue with the people you learned it from so that they can go deeper into showing you. But they ain't going to show you too much if you want to go back and forth with them. They're going to say, okay, well, good luck to you and just leave it alone. But don't go back and forth with broke people over the philosophies you're learning from the rich. Because if you're learning it from the rich, you're developing that mindset. You have to put it into the practice. See, it don't just change because your mindset change. Things change when your habits change. So it comes from the mind. Then you have to move it into action. There are two parts of your brain that supports this function. The front part is the frontal lobe of the brain. What is that? That deals with your thinking and planning, your thinking process, your mindset. That's the frontal lobe of the brain. You have to be around the right kind of people. You have to have the right kind of people in your circle to help to elevate your level of thinking, folks. Why is that? Why? It's because your income will shrink to the level of your thinking. Let me repeat that. Your income will shrink to the level of your thinking. So you have to be around the right people who's earning the kind of money that you want to earn. Listen to the people who make the kind of money that you want to make. Whether it's YouTube, it doesn't matter. And you have to read their books as well so that your mindset can start to formulate in that way. Because after that, then you have to apply action. Once you apply action, what part of the brain that supports that? That's called the motor cortex. The motor cortex deals with movement and action. See, the frontal lobe, thinking and planning. And then the motor cortex, which is movement and action. That's exactly how that goes, folks. God has already put that in place in us at birth. You guys understand what I'm saying? So put that into action, folks, because things don't change just because your mindset changed or your thinking changed. They change when your habits change. Remember, you have a spiritual footprint, then you have a digital footprint. The universe is one big algorithm. It records everything. Because if you keep allowing yourself to get distracted, the universe will keep giving more things to distract you. It's going to do that by law. Next thing you know, you've been said, I said I wanted to do this 5 years ago, and you ain't did jack. You're sitting around wondering why it didn't happen. Because you allow things to distract you. Guys, let me just be honest with you. Put your dick up. There's a thing called sex transmutation. Sex transmutation. It's in a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. What is the question of sex transmutation? He said, how come more guys find their wealth in their 50s and their 60s than they do in their 20s and 30s? And the answer is because guys in their 50s and 60s does not have sex as a high priority as the guys in their 20s and 30s. Focus. The older you get, the more you start to focus on your wealth, your business, than the guys in their 20s and 30s. Read that book. It's called Sex Transmutation. It's a chapter called Sex Transmutation in the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And mind you, Napoleon Hill was mentored by, at the time, the richest man in the world named Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie mentored Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill has created more millionaires than Andrew Carnegie did because he taught the principles that Andrew Carnegie taught to him. And then he put it all in a book from his mentor and other multimillionaires that he had interviewed around the world. Sex transmutation. So guys, fellas, put your dick up. I'm not telling you to go celibate. I'm just telling you, don't put sex ahead of your vision. Focus. Because I'm telling you right now, I know guys who are not doing that. I know guys who are putting sex ahead of their business, ahead of their schooling. I know guys that are doing that. And it ain't looking too good. It will cause you to quit your dream because you done got far behind. You done got left behind. So focus, folks. You got to focus. You know? So focus on that, your money blueprint. If you want to do well, if you want to earn riches, if you want to earn $80,000, then find out what $80,000 people do. Find out how $80,000 a year people think. If you want $100,000, find out how $100,000 people think. I know a gentleman, rich guy, he owns several McDonald's. He owns like 8 McDonald's. He said, if you want to earn $1 million, if you want to learn how to earn $1 million, don't learn from somebody who earned $900,999. He said, don't learn from that guy because that guy didn't make $1 million. Because if you earn 900,999 or whatever it is that $1, if you could have just got that $1 from somewhere to make him million, he would have found a way of doing it. But he couldn't find that $1 to make his million. Why would you learn from this guy how to make $1 million? It was funny. I heard that. I was like, wow. Here's the thing, folks. If you want to earn $1 million, I'm saying this, you don't even find out how to earn $1 million from somebody who made $1 million. Why? I'm learning how to make $1 million from someone who made $10 million. See, someone who earned $1 million, they only done it once. So I don't want to learn from that guy. I want to learn from the guy who made 10 million. Why is that? Because he's done it 10 times. He's done it 10 times. So that way, if he's done it 10 times, I know good and well he can teach me how to do it once. You guys understand what I'm saying? If this guy made $10 million, he can teach me how to do it once. I don't want to learn from the guy who done it one time. I want to learn from the guy who's done it 10 times, 10 million. He 10x'd it, 10x'd his efforts of that $1 million. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Not that far to go now before I got class. I got a little bit more time I'm going to give you guys. But listen, folks, what we tend to do is go to a foot doctor about a back problem. Stop going to an employee-minded person about a business opportunity. If you want to learn something, you want to get someone's advice about a business opportunity, then go to a business owner about a business opportunity. You guys feel what I'm saying? This is the problem. This is the mistake a lot of people make. Women, you make the same mistake. You go and look for relationship advice from lonely ass women. And guess what happened? You're going to end up with the same result that they got. Women, you do that. You do that. You go and get relationship advice from some lonely female who just got fired her damn self. Why? You think misery makes sense to you? Because it's easy to play the victim. It's easy to go to somebody who wants to talk negative. If I listened to negativity, I would have been quit school by now. I've heard at least 4 people talk negatively about the school that I'm in right now. 4 of them. 1 done dropped out. Two dropped out. Two dropped out. They were negative from the start. Now, I've had some concerns. I addressed my concerns. I talked to the professor one-on-one. I said, hey, listen, this is how we're being taught. This is where I'm not comfortable. So I was helped. He addressed, he said, well, let me get on. He said, well, let me figure out how we can get you going. I got going. I get my homework. My homework is up to par. I didn't fall behind in my homework or none of that stuff. I'm enjoying school. Why? Because when I had a concern, I addressed my concern. I was an advocate of myself. You have to be a self-advocate as well, folks. Wherever it is you see, you got to understand, just because you say you want to do something or you want to make a certain kind of money, doesn't mean it's just going to come to you. You have to advocate for yourself along the way. Whatever it is you need to get, you can say, hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. Especially if you got your money involved with this. How are you going to get to where you want to be if you stay where you are? Let me ask you that question again. How are you going to get to where you want to be if you stay where you are? Advocate for yourself. Increase your money blueprint. Because guess what? If you just decide to go somewhere else with the same mentality that you had at the previous place, you're going to get the same results. It's not the institutions. It's not the schooling. It's not the jobs. It's you. You got to understand that, folks. Your money blueprint will never grow if you going around expecting people to do something according to how you want it to be done. It's not how that works. It doesn't work that way. Because if it did, you have everything you want handed to you on a silver platter, and you ain't have to do nothing to earn it. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. I'm kicking ass in school. I feel like I'm a millennial. I'm like how millennials be kicking ass in school. That's how I feel right now. I'm kicking ass in school. In 2 to 3 more weeks, I had a one-on-one with the professor. 2 to 3 more weeks, said, Jay, you about ready to get you a contract with just Linux by itself in through 2 or 3 weeks. I'm doing good right now with Linux. I know Python. There's a thing called a Wireshark that I'm going to be learning. I'm going to be learning ethical hacking, everything, folks. I'm going to be getting a lot of crazy contracts. I'm going to be hiring. I'm going to need to hire people. So that's one thing you got to understand, folks. If you want to increase your net worth, you have to first increase your self-worth. People with a high ceiling, they don't quit. Don't quit on your education. No educational institute is going to teach it the way you want them to teach it. I've learned that. You have to adjust. You have to have the ability to adapt. That's what it's all about. Why is that? Because being who you are is not the individual to reach that goal that you set for yourself. Les Brown once said, if you want the things in life you've never had, you have to become the person you've never been. So that means you're going to have to change, Jack. Your way of doing things or you doing you, it ain't working. Because if it did, you would be seeking to elevate yourself to begin with. You wouldn't be seeking to increase your salary to begin with. Being who you are is not that individual. You're going to have to change. Otherwise, everything will stay the same for you. And then as they stay the same, they're going to start to change backwards because the universe is moving and you're not. Hope this makes sense to you guys. You got to adapt. It is what it is. You got to change, folks. You got to change your thinking, and you got to change your habits. How many people you've seen had a good idea, but that the idea never came to fruition? A gentleman by the name of Miles Monroe, you know what he said? He asked the question. He said, what is the wealthiest? He said, where is the wealthiest place in the world? People thought it was over in the Arabian desert where they're oil and everything like that, or in Africa, in the mines, or in Paraguay in Africa, or somewhere where there are gold, diamond mines and things like that. He said, no, no, no. None of those are the wealthiest place in the world. He said the wealthiest place in the world is at the graveyard. So people was thinking, why? Because people get paid off dead people? He said, no, 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 no. He said the wealthiest place is at the graveyard, because at the graveyard, there's books never written. People went to their grave with their visions, with their creations, their books, their poems with them. They never gave it to the public. They never gave it to the marketplace. How many people you know had all these great ideas and never did nothing? There is a poem that coincides with that. It goes, he slept beneath the moon and basked beneath the sun. He lived a life of going to do and died with nothing done. Inventions never been brought out to be invented. Poems never cited. Books never written. All kinds of ideas never brought to fruition. They just procrastinated, or they quit when they found challenges along the way, and then they gave up. They quit to the point where they eventually died with all of those ideas stuck with them. They took those ideas, those visions, those books, those poems, inventions. They took those to the grave with them. I didn't think about people who did not do that, like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos. These guys are building rockets, for Christ's sake. Rockets. Elon Musk built a rocket that went up into space, came back down, and landed exactly where the rocket took off from. And you guys running around here quitting on your goals and your dreams. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. So folks, listen, I want you guys, I hope this has been helpful to you guys. If it's been helpful, please put that in the comments, and I really appreciate you guys stopping through. Just say thank you in the comments. This has been helpful, if you will. I want you guys to share this video. If this video did not help you, it's okay. It's not for everybody, but share it anyway. You know why? Because you know somebody this video will help or can help. So I will appreciate if you guys would do that. Thirdly, please make a donation to the podcast, $J Hunter Lee. I'm not asking for a lot of money. Up to $20 is fine. $5, $10, $15, $8, $6, don't matter. Make a contribution to the podcast. I only ask that because eventually I'm going to need to upgrade some equipment, right? Might need a new laptop soon, or add memory to the current laptop I have. Probably need new lighting pretty soon. All this stuff is working great now, but eventually everything needs an upgrade eventually, right? So donate to the podcast, just small amounts. I'm not asking for a lot of money. I will decline if you send me a lot of money. I don't need your money. I'm just asking you to participate in our community and just contribute to the podcast. Not asking for $50, $100, none of that crap. I will decline it. So because I'm not asking for that kind of money. Okay, I'm not selling something. Just asking for a small donation. So $J Hunter Lee is my Cash App. If you guys will, please go ahead and send a little donation, if you will. I'm not pressuring you to do it. It's totally up to you. I'm just letting you know that I would appreciate it if you did. Okay. And lastly, I want you to do me one bigger favor. That is to sing like no one can hear you, dance like no one can see you, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. I'm J Hunter Lee. I love you, and the world needs you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. Have a great day.